Betsy starts off this hour in Baltimore, Maryland. Hi, Betsy. How are you?
Hi, Dave. I'm fine. Thank you for taking my call.
My pleasure. How can we help?
A few years ago, I got divorced after 21 years, and 3 years ago, I bought a house. And I'll just say that I really didn't have all my wits about me, and I bought a house from a flipper. And I thought I had a realtor that I could trust, and it turned out that I didn't. So I have this 92-year-old house that needs a fair amount of work. I was also talked into getting a 7-year ARM mortgage, and I'm in the third year.
What do you owe on the house?
I owe 100. I guess I owe about 180.
Okay.
I think that's about where it is now.
If you were to put it on the market without doing any work to it, like it sits today, what could you get for it?
Well, I paid $275.
If you were to put it on the market today, like it sits, with the work that it needs on it, what could you get for it?
Well, that's my issue because my conscience says that I have
What
to sell
is
it
the
as
house
is.
worth?
I would say it would probably go on the market for $275. I just don't know if I
mean, you think it'll bring that?
I think it could.
Good.
Yes.
Good. Get with a real estate ELP at RamseySolutions.com. Get it on the market and sell it.
That was my question. I didn't know whether I should get out of this.
Yes.
And get out of it.
Yes.
Okay.
Everything you described in this entire conversation was the opposite of fun.
Right. Well, yeah. The house became more than I thought. I could
the deal was
handle,
bad going in, and the deal has been bad since you sat there, and you've got a bad mortgage.
Right.
There's nothing here that is happiness.
No.
On top of that, it is a reminder of the mindset you were in, of a poor state you were in when your life fell apart. It's just a reminder every day.
It is.
Get out of it.
Yeah, the broken house kind of feels like the broken you that went in and bought the broken house every time you drive up in front of it.
Do I sell it as is?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
ma'am. You're not in the business of rehabbing.
There's somebody that watched way too much HGTV that's going to run right into this thing.
Yeah. There's a Chip and Joanna out there somewhere, buddy.
They're smiling big. And hey, will you do me a huge favor?
Yes.
The next time you buy a house, the next time you rent a house, I want you to change your language. And this is important because it's going to make you walk a little bit taller. I want you to change your language from, I got talked into, and that, to, I did it. It was dumb. I did it. I wasn't in a good state.
Yes.
I did this, and now I'm going to make it right. I'm going to sell it. I'm going to sell it as is. I'm going to make $100,000. I'm going to put that on another property that I've got my wits about me. I'm going to make good decisions, get good counsel, and I'm going to stand 6 inches taller starting today.
So you're going to understand the deal. You're going to understand what the property is worth. You're going to understand what you're getting into so that no matter how competent or incompetent who you're dealing with is, that you're not going to be taken.
They got to go through Betsy from Maryland, right?
Right. I just was concerned about if I move out of here and the houses are so expensive.
Listen, even if you go rent for a while and it takes you a while to find a reasonable deal, the market has to calm down before you find a reasonable deal. Nothing about the deal that you're in is fun. And so this is a really good time to get out of an unfun deal. Sell it.
Okay. And is summertime okay, or should I have done it?
Betsy.
Sell it.
Yes. Sell it. Okay.
Betsy, how long have you been divorced?
4 years. 4.5 years.
Was that a surprise? Did it shock you?
It wasn't a shock, but
was it devastating?
The whole thing was a lie. So it was devastating.
Okay, here's what has not happened in 4 years. You've not learned to trust Betsy again.
That's true.
And the marriage fell apart, but at the end of the day, you blame Betsy. Betsy should have known. And at this point, you've got to stand back up and say, Betsy is worth being trusted is worth good counsel, is worth good friends, is worth not having to ask 17 different questions when one of the smartest guys in America is telling you what to do?
John.
I was talking about myself, not you, clearly. Clearly me, not you.
Clearly. Yeah, the trick is
trust Betsy.
There's going to be a lot of peace that comes if you just go keep your life real simple and rent a nice place for a little while, and you got a little pile of money in the bank, and you don't have any issues anymore. And all of the emotions and the problems that this house represents and the regrets that this house represents are in the rearview mirror, and the windshield is bigger than the rearview mirror. We call that grace. Look forward. Look forward.
And give Betsy grace.
Yeah. You're okay. You're smarter than you're giving yourself credit for. You're stronger than you're giving yourself credit for. Good stuff. Open phones at 888-825-5225. You know, we always say personal finance is 80% behavior. It's 20% head knowledge. And I have always anecdotally seen the correlation between bad decisions, being paralyzed on making a decision, to the things that have happened in somebody's life.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a caller in another hour that had gone through chemo followed by pandemic. These are not financial things, but they always affect financial things.
Right.
And financial things always affect them.
That's exactly right.
And so this idea that somehow money is its own little category siloed over here to the side from your emotions, your relationships, your betrayals, your hurts, your physical well-being, the time you were molested when you were 49 years ago. Yeah. All of these things play into your money.
That's right. And they play into, like you said, your marriages and your work relationships. It plays into all that stuff. And Dave, we have we've got a society, a culture that says you are the worst thing you've ever done. You are the worst thing that's ever happened to you. And we do not have a collective sense, either individually or as a culture, of what redemption looks like, what saying, I made a stupid decision and I'm better than that and I'm not going to do it again, and what going forward looks like. Yeah. And we see folks like Betsy who are good people who are trapped in that cyclone of doubt and shame.
From the past.
Yeah. And the hardest person to get over doubting is yourself.
Yeah. Good stuff. This is The Ramsey Show.